As of this moment, I believe for this to be the strongest team in Grand Cross. Albedo plus Hell is a combo you're going to be seeing a lot from now on. Now the third option can be a little flexible. I think Tyr is obviously going to be a very powerful contender because have you seen Tyr? But if you replace Tyr for Ainz, that could be pretty good. Tyr for Freyr, that could be pretty good. But I think Tyr is the best option. Shaltiar can also be pretty good. I just haven't found... I think that I like her all that much. Ghislaine, probably very powerful as well. But we're going to be playing with Tyr first for the time being. The amount of tomfoolery you can do with this team is absurd. Because you have characters that just absolutely punish the enemy for doing anything. If they don't attack you, then they get debuffed by damage increase. They do attack you, well, they get everything. Like, attacking on this team is pretty much a death sentence. Let's do this right here. And Hell can counter other Hells. I think that that's the best thing about her, actually. Like, obviously Hell's own passive is very strong, but honestly, if there weren't for other Hells, I wouldn't be as inclined. The fact that she can make it so she isn't affected by passives from other Hells is one of her strongest points. And that's definitely by design. It makes you feel like, you know, if you don't have her, you're in such a disadvantage, which you are. Alright, let's do this. Unfortunately, he can't just remove my ult gauge by making me counter. I believe, you know, when you use one attack on Nanashi, it triggers the ult gauge removal, and if you attack again, it doesn't remove anymore. But because the turn restarted, it's going to be the case. Also, I had made a mistake. I thought that the attack buff passive from Albedo only triggered if someone removes your stance. But that is incorrect. So my stance is going to go away right here. And everyone got the 20% attack related stat buff. Just Albedo using the stance means that in the next turn, provided it's level 1, right? Everyone is getting a 20% attack related stat buff. If you combine that with Tyr losing HP, it's just insane. Also, if you are using both Albedo and Tyr together, do note that whichever one you put on the right is the one that's going to taunt. So, right here, I put Tyr on the right and he's the one taunting. Like, they both have taunt on, but one overrides the other. So, if, never mind what I just said. I guess it's random. First, I thought if you have... I guess it's random. If you have both of them, I thought maybe the enemy can pick which one, because they're both taunting. But that wasn't true. Like, I couldn't pick Tyr, for example, last turn. I could only pick Albedo. But then I was like, oh, it must be placement. But I guess it's just random. If you're using both Tyr and Albedo together, I guess it's random. Who's taunting? Never mind then. I'm doing this. Just to kill Tyr. Don't want to deal with him. Even if Albedo's countering, it's fine. One thing for sure, right? So, a tactic you will see very often with Albedo players is they're going to ult rush her. Because it's very difficult to take care of her once she has a counter. If you have Unknown, just attack her, she's probably not going to one-shot you, which is very unlikely. Unless she has like a level 3 counter or something, right? Attack her, and make her counter into your Nanashi, and she's going to lose ult gauge. It's very, very common. You see Albedo players do that all the time. I say that like she's an old character that, you know, has a lot of playtime, but it's just... For the amount of time she's already been used, I've seen it very often. First turn, they just push ult because they think, you know, Albedo's invincible. But you can just remove the ult gauge that way. So for example here, I think the best way to deal with the Sin team is you put a counter in the first turn. The reason for it is because I actually really want the attack buff for tier, right? If you're not using tier and using like Ainz, for example, you're probably going to be going for a more damage reduction sort of build. Depending on your third slot, it's going to, you know, influence how you're going to play. But that 20%, especially if he is getting attacked as well by some AoEs and stuff, right? Taking some damage, it can be very, very strong. I say that, but I'm probably not going to actually AoE with him. I'm just going to single target on DN. Since I got another taunt. Oh, also, so... I said on my Albedo video that right there, he would not have killed if not for the 20%. That she's bugged if you use tier. And your taunt sometimes doesn't work. That is incorrect. It just so happens a lot of people are using tier with her, so most people only have noticed it with tier. But she is just bugged in general. Her level 2 taunt, like her level 2 counter, sometimes just doesn't work. Like, her taunt sometimes just doesn't work in the second turn. I don't know, it's just, she's just bugged. Like I said, you're gonna be facing a lot of hell. A lot of hell Albedos. We're switching things up. I put Ainz. So the thing about playing with Ainz, right, is that you're gonna be mainly focusing on the damage reduction, but that only works if you have him 6-6, right? If you have a 1-6 Ainz, don't even bother using him, to be honest. It's unfortunate, but it's true. If you don't have a 6-6 Ainz, he's just not doing much, right? Like, the damage reduction is really good if you have him 6-6. So, I don't know how I'm gonna rank him on my tier list, because, you know, for, like Ascanor, right? Let's say Ascanor. He was the first character that had this sort of ultimate level dictates an extra passive sort of thing. And, you know, for him, it definitely made a difference, right? If you had 6-6 Ascanor, or if you had 1-6 Ascanor, it made a difference, but it was only really if you died, and that wasn't all the time, right? Ban, similarly, had a passive like that, which made a difference as well, but after they actually buffed Ban, it wasn't the biggest deal. Ainz, in the other hand, I'll be real, if you don't have Ainz 6-6, he's kind of garbage. It makes a humongous difference if you have him 6-6 or not. And I mean, like, even if you have him 3-6, he's garbage. You need him 6-6. It's not even like a nice little scale like Ban. From 1 to 3-6, garbage. Trash. Unusable. And then 4-6, 5-6, usable. 6-6, he's good. And I'm even saying, like, he's not even OP at 6-6, he's just good. Now, I do believe as well that once Hell is not meta anymore, there is a chance that he could be meta. Because I think that the biggest obstacle for Ainz right now is Hell. You are very limited in those AoEs because you don't want to be AoEing like crazy, right? You're gonna be in a bad situation if you keep getting corrosed by Hell. One AoE from Ainz and your whole health bar is gone the next turn if you're facing tier. Like, it's just AoEs and it's a lot of damage. Now, that if you have him 6/6, the damage reduction can help you. It will counteract it a little bit. But in my experience, even with 6/6 damage reduction, you can get clapped. Okay. Following what I literally just said, I'm going to make a travesty here and double AoE with Ainz. But it's okay, because like I just said, you know, you have the damage reduction and your attack lowering. Those two combined tell me that, you know, ideally Tyr wouldn't just kill me here. But I do have half of my HP gone, so... Alright, the dodge will save me. Okay. So here's the deal, right? Here is the deal. Do I go for the instant death here? I think I do. So if I do this, and then single target with Ainz, she will die next turn. His single target doesn't do the most damage. This is maximum damage that he could have done. She didn't even have the Nashi on her, did she? I don't think. No, maybe she had. Maybe she had. Regardless, like that's horrible damage. But he's not here for that, right? He's here for the damage reduction. Which I guess didn't matter because I still got demolished. So yeah, I prefer using Tyr. Even with how I'm not so sure if I'm a big fan of Ainz. Going back to Tyr. I will put up her counter in the first turn. Honestly, you know, sometimes I kind of want to save the counter because I already have taunt, right? It's not like in the first turn they're doing much, but yeah, see, if I don't get a counter in the second turn, I don't get much out of her, right? But at the same time, I do want the attack buff. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Sick damage. First turn, if you have Albedo with Nanashi passive, it's just such an insane amount of damage reduction. Yeah, like right here, I kind of wish I did have a counter, you know? I'm going to do this. This doesn't seem very smart, because I am going to get countered here. And I don't know if this is gonna kill. It did kill, okay. Okay. I was like, as long as I kill Hell, we should be fine. Because if I don't, then I'm gonna have a lot of corrosions on Tyr, but yeah, even though I'm a little bummed for not having the counter, the attack buff on Tyr was worth it. Yeah, I'm much more of a fan of this, but there could be a better combo than Tyr. Could be. I don't know. I wish I had an AoE here. I'm just a real big fan. Real big fan of this Tyr combo, because you have the crit resistance lower. Yeah, look at Hell. Even Albedo's, you know, defense card can do some pretty monstrous damage if she's creating all the hits. Oh, humans. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. I do have dodge. They probably know that. So let's see how well we can tank. Albedo is gonna have the Nashi passive next turn, and if they attack me you know, 3 times, dodge plus 2. We're gonna have some buffs, so. Tyr is taunting this time. Or he was, but his taunt got removed. Okay. Ouch. That was a lot of damage. Ouch indeed. I'm going to do this right here. That will lower Roxy's damage and hopefully heal us a little bit. Humans still pack a punch. For sure. Oh, he's going for Askener actually. Maybe I should have lowered his damage. Does this kill? Oh, he didn't. Nice. It's gonna lifesteal a good amount? No, it did not. Okay. It lifestealed pretty much nothing. What is her lifesteal? If you asked me after seeing that clip, I would have said 0. I mean, this will kill. This. You took care of Albedo. Oh no! All right. Let's do something like this. Kind of want to go second more. Should try play some geared. Because in geared, both Albedo and Tyr don't have very high CC because they're both attack gear. One has attack crit defense, one's attack crit. So I'm not just bursting with CC and can actually go second. Although I think the only real players I actually faced, I did go second, so. Not gonna face many real players in Champ 1. If you're already Champ 1, why would you play, right? You're already getting 60 gems. At that point, you're just playing for fun, I guess. I have swapped to geared, so let's not taunt. I'm gonna just hit him with one of these. That is an interesting team. DK, Albedo, and Purgatory Melee. I guess you're banking on Albedo protecting DK until the time comes. Or that. Or that. Okay. Sure. If they don't attack Albedo, they get a 40% damage increase debuff. He must be aware, right? Humans? Alright, this is my last match. I have spent like so many gems trying to face real players, but it's not happening. And my throat hurts, my eyes hurt. I'm sick. I'm not gonna keep playing with this very, very hard to force commentary facing bots. Askener buff removing Albedo is actually pretty unfortunate. I need to make a video on humans. I want to say, you know, I'm facing some of them, but the one real player I faced, I don't know if he did the best job. And I kind of want to see for myself how it would stack against Albedo players. I think humans still have a chance. I don't know if I'll use Death Pierce, but you know.